everybody, long time no see. Yes, it's me, I'm Tracy, otherwise known as Tea Plays Nice on Ravelry, Instagram and Facebook, and I have rebranded my indie dye yarn business, as I'm now incorporating making bags and charms, into a new shop on Etsy. You still go to the same place. I've just asked Etsy if I can rebrand and they've allowed me to do that, and I'm now known as Maker Me. My name formerly was Ocean Creations, but I was getting people very confused on the fact that when they think of Ocean Creations, it's things made with products based on and around the ocean, so hence why the change. So I'd like to thank you for anybody that's hanging in there to wait for me to come back onto YouTube, and any new viewers, I hope I'll be able to chat a lot more to you more regular now. For those that don't know, I went back and retrained in 2015 when I was podcasting to become a healthcare assistant on the mental health units. My career has since gone up and up and up a little bit, and I am now working with the district nurses in the community, doing a lot of wound care, and I'm enjoying that role immensely, but it takes up an awful lot of my time, and I do come home and I am a little bit tired, and it's taken me a lot longer than what I thought it would to settle into that role and just really get some downtime and commit to knitting. I have been knitting, but on side of that we had some very exciting news, so I'm just going to go right into random waffle. And we had some exciting news. Back at the beginning of the summer, my husband was able to, sadly, for inheritance reasons, we were able to buy ourselves a little caravan down in Looe in Cornwall. We only live in Devon, so we're not that far away, so we can boat away to that most weekends, and that's taken up a lot of my time this summer. We've been out and about enjoying that, and next year, anybody who fancies a little breakaway in Looe, we will be letting out our caravan. It's not an all singing, all dancing campsite. It's a very quiet campsite. It's got a little shop on, a grocery shop, and it's got a little fish and chip van on top, and it's got a play park for children. It's got laundry facilities, as it's got a touring section next door. But it's very well situated on the main road in between Looe and Polperro, sorry. And so it's great for getting out and about, but we love it. It's just so relaxing. But yeah, so we will be letting that next year, so I'll keep anybody posted if anybody's interested in that. I am going to be revising my Ravelry account. At the moment I think it's still Ocean Creations on there. I'm hoping to change it to Maker Me or Tea Plays Nice. So you'll be able to find out all of what I'm doing with the Etsy shop. I did try to open up a Shopify shop, and I liked the layout, and I liked the way it was working, but just purely for financial reasons at the moment, I'm not able to dye enough to sustain the Shopify shop at the moment. Hopefully that will improve, because I am hoping to start going around doing vending at fairs and things, so I am hoping to pick up the dyeing. I'm beginning to get more in tune with what I'd like to dye, but enough of that. Let's go on and talk about what I've been up to. I have been knitting. One of the finished objects I am actually wearing, it's the Ravello. Sorry, I haven't written any show notes, so I don't know who it's by, but I know it's the Ravello, and it is knitted with my own dyed sparkle yarn. This top piece is pistachio, my pistachio colourway. It is a fingering weight, and it's got the gold stellina through it. Then we go into, when we go onto these stripes, I'm sorry I can't see if this is recording very well, we go into these stripes. The pink stripes are my Pinkaroo, and that's a plain fingering weight. And then we go into the olive hue dark colour on the bottom, and again that's got the gold stellina running through it, so it is quite a glittery and sparkly. The Ravello, I was a bit apprehensive about this unfinished collar that they do on it, boat neck collar, but I absolutely love it now. I do like the size of the collar. It's a very nice knit with the stripes. It's enough to keep your interest going. It's a nice fit. I'm quite a large lady now because unfortunately I've had to give up running. I did try again in the summer, but I've had to give up the running because a couple of years ago I went to Turkey and we went on some rafting and I affected my calf on my left leg. And I didn't do anything about it, but it was quite badly bruised. I've come home and I've ignored it for 2 years, and every time I go to run I get really bad cramps and I feel like the muscle, and it has been really confirmed that running is not something I can do with that leg anymore. So I'm a bit gutted because I had signed up for a couple of races this year, hoping to get me back. Oh, I've sidetracked again already. I will shut up. Yeah, so this is the Ravello. I absolutely love it. I have been sewing as well. Another finished object I've got beside me is this beauty. It's a great way for using your sewing dummy, isn't it? Is to actually block your sweater. Because I wanted it to, it's only, it's a Serdar Dapple. And it's 75% acrylic, 25% wool. I actually wanted, it's a double knit. I wanted the weight to bring it down a bit. In length. Because it was little, because of this pattern on the side here, it's like a little crisscross, but I didn't realise quite so much when I was knitting it that if you, I've got a nice tension on it, I like the look of it, but when you go to wear it, that stops it being able to stretch around. And this is a Christmas present for my mum, and so I omitted the buttonholes because of that, because I realised it wasn't quite going to stretch around. Mum doesn't really do cardigans up, but I wanted her not to think she could do the buttons up, so I've omitted buttonholes, and I'm just going to put like a couple of decorative, maybe 2 buttons up the top, so that she'll know it is to be left open. And the pattern is called Coming Home Cardigan, All Grown Up, and it's by Amy Alexander. It is a paid for pattern, I believe, on Ravelry. If I can, the one you're supposed to, actually looking at the actual pattern, that would have given me a clue that it's not to do up, because I don't want to actually give away, sorry, crinkle too much. But you can see they've only got the buttons up the top and then it flares out anyway. So I think Mum liked that. I'm just a little bit concerned about the scoop neck. But I know Mum does wear a lot of the strappy t-shirts when she's on holiday and things like that. So I think we'll be alright with that. So that was the Serdar Dapple wool I use. Sorry, I'm stretching. And this one is it's a weird one, to be honest with you. It doesn't look like it's dyed like an indie dyer would dye it. It just looks like the yarn hasn't taken, if you know what it knits up very, very nice and it looks lovely, but actually in the ball it doesn't look very nice at all. But I just thought, oh, it's unusual, let's see what that looks like. So yeah, that's another finished object. I think what else I've got to show you, just putting that out there. I will be turning around to show you things. Another finished object I've got to show you is not actually knitting, it's sewing, and I did sew myself a little top. It's just a basic little tee with a scoop bottom to it. I would change, but honestly it's not that exciting to wear, or not that exciting for me to change into to show you, because it is just a basic little tee and it fits very, very nicely, and it goes with jeans and little knee-length short denims when I go to the caravan. So that was nice. So that was my sewing adventures. While I was in work the other day, we were actually told, the way the district nurse service works in Plymouth is they divide the area off into sections. So we've got north, east, west and south, and I work in the south of the city, and within that team we're then divided into 4 little teams, because it is quite a big area, and which is pink, purple, blue and orange. And we've actually got the phlebotomy team in our offices with us as well, that cover the whole of the city. And we've been told there is a little Christmas competition this year for decorated areas, but because it's healthcare, we've got to be a little bit careful on what we can and can't do with the buildings. But there is a little competition for best dressed area. So in the moment, I'm in the middle of making bunting for each little team within our team. And I've started doing the oranges. Okay. And all I've basically done is a little triangle, 6-inch long, and they were 6-inch wide, little triangles, and they are back and front. No, just front's fraying here. So they are back and front. They're all sewn down the sides to the point, and the bunting's sewn on. And then I've got a little plain one to match, and I have actually got this fabric in each of the colours, and they're 4 meters long. So quite long, but our office is quite big, and I thought for phlebotomy, what I'm going to do, I was going to do the red and white, and then I thought, oh, that's not good in a healthcare setting because that's like blood and bandages, or so my auntie would tell me. So what I'm actually going to do is, because the colours of the tubes, the test tube, the blood tubes are actually near enough the same colours as the phlebotomy, as the teams, I'm actually going to do the red and white, but every one in between, I'm going to do the gold top tube, the blue top tube, the purple top tube, and the pink top tube. So they're going to have a mixture of everybody else's fabrics as well. So that's sewing. So, oh, I've actually got a couple works in progresses to show you. The first one, this is a Hokey Locatelli project. I think it's Lemoncello's coming to mind, but I don't think that's what the pattern's called, and I've been really naughty. I haven't got it in front of me, but I am actually knitting myself, and all I've got to do, I've done one sleeve, I've done the main of the body, and it's all lovely cable. I've done the back. I've got the other sleeve to do. As you can see, it's more like a poncho because it's ribbed all the way around the edge, and then it's open, and I think you put once you've done your sleeve, you do your button, and it's got a great big turtleneck knock. Honestly, can you tell I haven't done this for so long? I'm just rambling to get it done because I'm nervous, scared. It's like being new all over again, and I don't know if even if anybody's going to see this, but there you go. So yes, so I am enjoying it. I am knitting this in Bergère de France wool that I've had in stash a very long time, and it's the Magic Plus, and it's the brick colourway, and I've got quite a lot of this, so I'll probably be able to knit myself a hat and gloves to match the way I'm going. So I've only got the sleeve and the collar to do, but I do feel that that's going to take me a while to get finished with everything else I'm trying to work on. My time management skills are not the best at the moment. Another work in progress, sorry you're getting my head, I know quite a lot, is a pair of vanilla socks, magic loop, and really these are on standby because it's kind of like a sample for my own yarn as well. And this is the Mr. Fox socks self-striping, and again this is on a copper stellina base, you can just see it there. So this is my Mr. Fox socks. I've used one of my minis there, and that's just one of the little brown minis that's in the store. I know I have got one skein of this left on Making Me on Etsy, so we go into the nice bready brown, then this little variegated greeny browns, and then we've got the nice beige, and then we've got the natural colour of the yarn with the stellina, and it's a 4-stripe pattern, and that's done on a 64 stitch sock on a 2.5 needle. Go me, I'm not normally that informative, but that, as I say, is getting done little and often as I do it, purely because I am working on other things alongside it. So, and that is for my shop. I know it should take priority, but it never does. So that's that one. Then I've got nuts, Mr. Fox in the skein, which was just behind me, because I was frantically looking for another sock yarn, but I'm thinking I've left it down the caravan. One of the sock patterns I'm knitting, and it's with my candy stripe full way, but that's on the website on Etsy as well. So that's, and that's my new logo, Make Me. I'm just going to cover up the makeame.co.uk, because that was going to be the Shopify, and I've decided to stick with Etsy. So that is going to be the new logo, Maker Me, which I think is quite fancy, and that's obviously the new packaging. So that's Mr. Fox socks. The self-striping I was telling you about, which I don't seem to have with me, is Candy Stripe. Oh, Sugar Candy Stripe, and it's self-striping yarn, and it is 75% wool, 25% nylon. This one hasn't got stellina in. And again, that's, so you can see the colours there. You've got like a lime green, a candy pink, a tealy green, tealy blue, and a white. And again, that is 4 stripes. 4 rows, 4 stripes. 5 rows, 4 stripes, sorry. On that one. So that's that done. I'll come back to those in a minute when I do a little bit about the shop talk, because I have got quite a bit of shop talk. Another thing I've got on my needles is, I don't normally knit children's, babies' clothes at all. My mum's been a little bit poorly, and she's got a friend who's expecting her first great granddaughter, and it's the first female born in a long time, in the 30 years I think in the family. So, and she knows she's having a little girl, and Mum caught me off guard and said, would you knit me a baby matty jacket? So I'm just doing it. It's just a standard King Co pattern that I've got. I haven't brought it up with me, but you can see I'm just doing it in the palest baby pink, and that's the back. I only started this yesterday, so that's the back. So we're getting there on that one. So that's a work in progress. I am taking part in Stephen West Knit Along Mystery Cow, the Sparkle and Pop, and I am using pistachio, olive, Mr. Fox on a, I did Mr. Fox, but I did it, excuse me, in more of a specco. This is the mini of it. These are in the shop. So that's Mr. Fox on a specco, and I've actually dyed up one skein, I think, that I'm actually using on my Stephen West Mystery Cow. And I'm not going to show it, because it's, what I've decided to do is I'm going to give everybody the chance to do 2 weeks worth of knitting before I show, so I know that they've had the clue for 2 weeks before I go to show anybody. So yeah, that will be shown in a couple of weeks' time, my Mystery Cow, if I remember to even podcast, because you know what I'm like, guys, I pop in, I disappear, I come back. So that was that work in progress. Another work in progress I'm doing, I am doing the Tin Can Knits Sea Wool socks. Sea Wool or Sea Fall? I've got a feeling it's Sea Wool, and the colourway I am using, I don't know if you're going to be able to pick up the colours on this. This is a new to my shop colourway. Again, it is on the Copper Stellina. It is reddy, pinky, whites and greens. It knits up. I've used my mini green, far green, and that's how this is knitting up. That's the back of the sock, and that is the front of the sock. So this is Sea Wool by Tin Can Knits, and this is on my fingering again, and this is Bad Santa. That is my Christmas colourway that I will be releasing hopefully this evening. This is Sunday, I should have said that. Sunday the 1st of October. It's my brother's birthday today. He's 49. Happy birthday, darling bro. You won't watch this. So that's Bad Santa. And that will hopefully be coming in the shop this evening. So it's not a bright in your face Christmassy colour. It's kind of, it is very dark. Well, it's not really dark. It just looks dirty like Bad Santa would. I like it. It's done like that on purpose. So, and I'm knitting them on my zings. I do like the Knit Pro zings. I've got the Knit Pro Symphony interchangeable set, and I love them. I've always loved the wood. And I've got the zings when I'm doing sock knitting, and I am slowly building up my zings for the interchangeables as well, because I quite like the way they go. And with our local yarn shop that I used to talk about, called the Wool Palette in Plymstock, is sadly no more. Barbara decided to give up as the lease was coming up for renewal on the shop, and personal things, family, so she decided to give up the shop. And Teresa, who used to work in the shop, has opened up a beautiful little yarn shop in Oreston in Plymouth called the Wool Tree. Yeah, the Wool Tree, because it's Teresa, yeah. And it really is a beautiful little shop, and she started to stock all the zings, Knit Pro zings. She started to stock Sheepy's wool. It really is, it's definitely worth a little look. It is a small shop, but it is really definitely worth a look. And I will show you something I bought from there the other day, and I know she's got, I think she's got 1 or 2 left, so if you do want them, it's the Wool Tree in Oreston. It is a new shop, but I know she has got a Facebook page, and she's just joined Instagram, but I think it's not under the Wool Tree on Instagram yet, so as soon as I find that out, I'll let you know. But that is the Santa. So I think, guys, that is my works in progress and finished objects done. I am heavily into sewing at the moment. I've actually bought a couple of craftsy classes because I'm making my own dresses, and I want to do my own trousers, and I want to do my own tops. That is going to be sorted out. I'm going to get into a routine eventually, and the caravan shuts for November, in November for 4 months anyway, so we're not allowed on site for 4 months because nobody wants, well, I would, but not many people want to go in a caravan when it's raining and howling a gale in the middle of winter. So I would, but not many people do, so the site's shut. So I'll have a lot more time to get on top of everything that I want to do again. So that was that. So now I'm going to show you a couple of makes for Make Me Etsy shop. I'll go through the yarn first. Should I do yarn? No, I'll go through bags first that I've done. So I've toyed with the idea of doing a bucket bag. Now, I did show this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not sure whether it would be a thing people would want, so maybe if anybody is watching this, they could let me know. The bucket bag is a circular bag. It's quite deep. It's got a very sturdy handle, and on the outside it's actually got pockets there, 2 large pockets front and back, and then on the side you've actually got a place where you can put your needles, so you can actually see you've got a few pockets there. I think you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 needle sized pockets and 2 large pockets, and I love this fabric. I bought this in a lovely quilting shop down in Polperro when I was down the caravan. It's adorable. Look at the sheep on the balloons. So I'm toying with the idea of doing that style. I've always done little drawstrings. So again, these are packaged up. Again, this is the same fabric. My little label. So this is the sock project size, and again, it's got the drawstring that you pull. So it's quite nice. It's ideal. Excuse me, I've just pulled the little label off. And you can open it back up again. The drawstring is actually made of the fabric, which I quite like, but inside, so you can see your project, it's just the cream lining. So that one's in the shop. Alongside that, if you so wish, I have got, so I'm just trying to put this label back on. Alongside that, I have got the DP end holders with the snaps to fit your DPN and your sock projects in. So that's in the shop. I know these are in the shop at the moment. Then we've got the green one. And again, it's got a contrasting stripe on the bottom of that one. Cream inside though. Okay, cream inside. And I've got the matching DPN holder with the little pink snaps this time. So that's in the shop. Then I went a bit Christmassy with Dirty Santa, and I have got 2 of the red leaf and then the red and gold sparkle. I've actually got 2 of those in the shop ready to go, and I have actually got 2 of the matching DPNs with the black little snaps, DPN holders to go with them. That's in the shop. Then I've got the red with the green bottom, which I thought was a little bit different for Christmas projects, but not too Christmassy, so I think you could get away with using these all year. They are quite small, these. Again, it's got the cream inside. There seems to be a crease on that, sorry. And then there's the little DPN, the green on the outside and the red inside. So that's those ones. Coming to the shop I've just got to finish these DPNs. I've got to fold them in and do the snaps, but I can show you what it's going to look like. We'll finish these today. They'll be hopefully be in the shop this evening. So that's your owls with your aqua blue DPN holder. I've also got, this is a different, oh that's one in progress. This is a different style of bag. This is my little owl bag, and it's the one where you just hook it over and you can put your balls in and you can knit like that when you're out walking around shows and things. I thought that'd be quite a handy one to have. So now I'm debating, I don't know whether people would want me to do it or no, but I've made a prototype of one in a similar but different, and I'm going to keep this one because this one was my prototype. I've made the same little bag and I can still do the handle over the top, but what I actually did is so that I can thread my yarn out of the little hood out, I've put a snap, sorry out of camera, not a good idea, a little snap on each side there and there, so you can maybe put your yarn thread coming out there, so that kind of like anchors the ball down as well, so you can hold it like that. I haven't made any more of the bunny one yet, but I have got some fabric that I might, well, this won't be in the shop today, I might actually put this one in. I reckon I could. I might put that one in. So that's the bunny bag. So that's that. So that's all the bags at the moment. Then the next thing I've been working on, might have to move up a little bit closer for this, is I am working on some charms. And with the little bunny bag, sorry, I'm just going to look for something to kind of hold it. with the little bunny bag, because I need to put the little clasp on these, but with the little bunny bag I made a little charm out of polymer clay. That's the little rabbit. I would say he's nearly 2 inches high, this little guy though, with his ears. Okay, so that's him. And he's got a little tail on the back. So cute. So that's Bunny. I have got that little charm that I'm going to be putting in the shop. Then with the owls, I've got little brown owl charm. These will have the Progress Keeper clasps on by the end of the day. Then I've got a little blue owl of happiness. Look, I've got a couple of them. So as they're all individually made, they will vary from one to the other. So that's my little owl charm. Then, because I was doing Mr. Fox socks, you've got to do a Mr. Fox, haven't you? You can't really see him very well. Mr. Fox. And he's got his little ears and his little tail on the back. So that's Mr. Fox. Okay. But then, totally random, I have got some Christmas puddings ready to be baked, a snowman ready to be baked. I'm working on some sheepies. But then we've got these little guys. These are my little unicorns. Okay, and these are made with sparkly white polymer. So these are a bit glittery, sorry. Okay, so yeah, you can actually see the little guy. So I've got a couple of them. And again, as I said before, they are handmade. There's no moulds or anything with these. So each one is different. This one's a little bit... He's been eating too many unicorn flakes for breakfast. So, okay, so that's that one. So that's charms. They'll be going in the shop this evening. Right, let's talk yarn. That's in the shop. I've got some of my old colourways in the shop, and as I said earlier, I'm now finding my style a little bit. So I think for me, I tend to do quite mishmashy. There's never a theme, but I do like to do self-striping. But I have got, as I was saying, I've got in the shop already, there is Candy Stripe on my Pilgrim base, which is 75% wool, 25% nylon. We've got Mr. Fox self-stripe, and that is on Poldark base. Can you tell where I'm from? Pilgrim, Poldark, yeah. 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon and 10% bronze stellina. And that's 400 metres per 100 gram. Then I've got, I'm going to be quite honest and say I'm not going to know what bases they're all on because I haven't done show notes. I will try my best. Then I've got the one that I've knitted the bottom. I thought it was an olive for you, but it's not. It's olive to be tono, so I live to be tono. Olive to be tono. And that again is on the gold dust base, which is the gold stellina. So again, it's 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 10% gold stellina, and that's a fingering sock. So that one there, if you're interested, knits up like that, if you can see that. So that's that one. Then I've got Pistachio, which again is on the gold duster base. So that's a tonal colourway of Pistachio. Then I've got, this one I won't be doing anymore. The base I will, which is our Barbican base, which is 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. It's a 2-ply high twist fingering, but the colourway I'm going to be retiring because I dyed up quite a lot of it for somebody that wanted it as a jumper and she didn't fulfil the order. So once it's gone, it's gone, because I'm tired of seeing it. It's 100 Acre Wood. I like these autumny colours, as you'll know in a moment when I've got another colourway coming up. So that's in the shop. Then I have got Sugar Candy Crystals, and that again is the Silver Sparkle on a twist. The details will be on the website on Etsy, Making Me. So I've got that one in the shop. Then I've got Trago, which reminds me of peacocks. It's got the limey blue, the limey green, aqua blue, a purple, and then a darker blue. So that is Trago. Again, that is a finger, or mine a finger in at the moment, to be honest with you. Then the ones I mentioned, oh, Pinkaroo. This is Pinkaroo. It's a tonal again. And this is on Smeaton's Tower base. Smeaton's Tower base, and it is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So that is my MCN base, basically. And it's Smeaton's Tower. And I love the squishiness. And I have got some of that colourway, but not in that base as minis. I'll show you all the minis in a bit, and I'll try and get it all in the shop. Then I have got Bad Santa. So you can see how Bad Santa is with its stellina running through it, and that's a copper stellina. Okay, so Bad Santa. Quite random, that one, but I love it. Bad Santa. I did do the olive, the fur colour minis for heels, toes and cuffs with Bad Santa, if anybody wants that. And I did actually do a bit of a pinky red, but I think it's, and I'm putting this out there, disclaimer, I did dye this to go with Bad Santa at the time, but when I put them together, nah, it's not going to work. So I have got some minis. And I can't say it's even candy red, to be honest with you. It's quite a palish red. It's not pink, but it's a pale red. Then I've got, oh, I'll show you the minis that are in the shop, if I can. Sorry, I'm leaning forward. I know I'm annoying. Oh, I've got Reggae. That I think is in the shop. I need to check that because I've just realised I've still got a thing of that. And that is Reggae in a very tacky skein. I was doing something and I've pulled it out, but you can just see Reggae. It's just a lovely colourway. It's got greens, it's got yellows, it's got oranges, it's got whites, and it's got an olive and browns, and it's a very lovely colour. Reggae. So we've got Pinkaroo minis, we've got the green, the lighter green, we've got Mr. Fox, the light beige, and we've got the tealy aqua. We've actually got a brighter blue as well. So we've got minis, and we've got a couple of the Mr. Fox speckly ones in a mini. And I really love that colourway. I'm going to have to figure out how I did it. I didn't write notes for that one because it was just a practice and I didn't think I would be doing it again, but I've since started knitting with that, and it's lush. is all I can say. Right, now I've got 2 new colourways. Okay, what should I show you first? Okay, Halloween. Halloween, we don't really do in the UK like the Americans do. We're more about bonfire night in this country. Bonfire night was the Guy Fawkes was a gentleman who tried to blow up members of Parliament in November. So we not November this year, a long time ago, but he tried to blow up the members of Parliament. The plan was foiled, you know, it didn't happen. But every year we build a big bonfire. It sounds quite macabre actually. We build a big bonfire and we get some old clothes and we stuff them with paper and things to make it look like a man. It's called Guy Fawkes, and we put him on top of the bonfire and burn him, basically, as a witch. So it's a long-standing tradition in this country, and we do the bonfire, we do the fireworks, and that is our November the 5th. Is that right? My brain's just gone total brain freeze, because I was thinking of Halloween as well, and I know Halloween is end of October. So we don't really do the Halloween thing, and in this country it can be a little bit sinister because unfortunately it gets misinterpreted by some the few, not the majority, but the few, and we have had incidences of old age pensioners being picked on by youths, using it as an excuse to frighten the old age pensioners, basically. So Halloween in this country, when my children were little, I did used to go out with them and they were dressed, but we don't do it as well as you guys do. So I have done a Halloween colourway, and this is the only one I will be doing this year, and I have only got a couple. I will say that now as a disclaimer, and this is purely my love for Disney coming out. Maleficent. That's right, isn't it? Maleficent. Yeah. Maleficent. It is very oh look, you can see the sparkles, and it has blacks, it has purples, it has pinks, it has deep navy, and it's just all its glory. This is Maleficent. Okay, so it is quite a dark, you could, yeah, you're just beginning to see the colours there, but look at that sparkle. The black really allows this to sparkle, so that's that one. And this one's got, it's not a yarn bath, but I might need to reskein this one because it's got a little bit messy there. But again, you can see the colours of the Maleficent. So it's Maleficent, the Evil Witch, and Cinderella. Oh, why not for Halloween? And then, because this is almost my favourite time of year, I love it when it's just gone summer and you get those really rich, vibrant autumnal colours on the trees. Before the rain and the mist attacks like it has today, you get that really, oh, I just love the burnt oranges, the bright oranges, the greens, the browns, the coppers. Ugh. So this is my Autumn Approaches colourway, and again you've got the reds and the greens, but you've got that transition where it goes browny, coppery, and again you've got the transition going on there, and there you've got a lovely transition going on, and even within the browny colour you've got the yellows and the, love this colourway, and it's Autumn Approaches. Okay, and again this is on a fingering. I've got a feeling this is on the new base, Blueface Leicester Platinum, which is, I will have to look, sorry, gone out of shot again, I will have to look it up, but again it's a lovely sock, shawl, jumper, whatever you want it to be. So that, oh look at that, yellow's in there. Don't know if you can see the yellow is peeking through. Oh, so that is autumn's approach, or autumn approaches, whichever you want to call it. So that's my yarn update. I have been working on something else. I have kind of like decided I'm not very good at immersion dyeing. Not where you mix the colours with one another. Like, to me it always comes out, when I try to do it, I've wasted so many skeins of yarn because whether I've got too much water in the pot, I'm not 100% thrilled with the way that happens for me. I do like this, if I unskein it. Oh, I love this colour. Where you dip so much in. Here we go, you can see it. So that's the dark. I do like this type of dyeing. Love, love, love. I do like my self-striping. I do like the speckles. Not the speckles, the kind of splodges you could say then, because they're not speckles. I do kind of like that, just a touch of colour. Way of dyeing, the little dots. And I have started to do, there is 5 colours of gradient on here. So I have started to do gradients, and that is 100 gram. So that one will probably be reskeined. That was just so you could show. I don't know whether people would want me to sell it to them like that as a gradient, or whether they would want it on a skein. So again, that's that. So guys, I think that's it for this time. Oh, other to say, I am hoping, I don't know if you guys watch the Pins and Needles podcast with Zoe, who is also doing the Knit Tea Retreat in Cardiff in 2018. I'm hoping to go to that. I've just seen the sock that I was looking for earlier. I'm hoping to go to that. I'm in and out on approaching Zoe about being a vendor, but I'm not sure because of work commitments alongside all this dyeing. So we shall see what comes of that. She might get inundated with dyers anyway and not need me. But I am hoping to go to that retreat. It is the Knit Tea Retreat. It's on Instagram. They've got a page on Ravelry, and you can also watch Zoe on her Pins and Needles podcast and to find out more. I know her and the Owl About Yarn, is it Jenny? Can't think. Owl About Yarn lady, they're doing it together. So they were talking about it on their personal podcast this week. So I would check that out if you're interested in the UK. I'm going into a nice retreat in Cardiff. I am so excited because I've actually got annual leave in November, and purely by chance I booked it to go and see my daughter who lives in Telford. And I got really, really excited because Zoe actually said, oh, we're going to Nottingham, and I thought, well, is there something going on in Nottingham? I'm so bad at yarn expeditions. Paper crafting, I would know exactly what was going on because it was my job. That's what I used to do years ago. I was a demonstrator for paper crafting. I wrote for card making magazines. I did a bit of shopping channel, not very much, shopping TV. So that side, and I knew when all their things were where they were, when they were on, what was happening. I've actually ran a crafting retreat with a friend who used to own a crafting shop in Berkshire. So that I was spot on. But knitting retreats, because it's been more of a hobby, I don't know where the retreats are, I don't know where the shows are. I'm just getting really into it. I keep saying I want to go to Unravel because I think that's the closest one to me, living down in the West Country. So I look on with envy. I've heard of Edinburgh Yarn Festival purely through the fact that I used to do a paper crafting festival there a couple months before. Never been to it, but I think that will be a distant dream, that one. But the Cardiff one I can see me actually getting to. But I got all excited because, as I was saying, I've booked this annual leave to go and see my daughter in Telford in November. And Zoe was saying on her podcast yesterday that she's going to the Nottingham Expo. And it's the same weekend. And my daughter's only an hour away. So I've actually got, I think it's 9 days off then. And the expo's at the beginning of the holiday. So I might be quite sneaky and say to daughter, look, if I can come up after work on the Friday, or, oh actually it might be better, if I travel up to, brain's wearing, if I travel up to Nottingham in the morning of the Saturday, do the expedition, then I can travel down to Telford from there, because it's only an hour, so it's 4.5 hours up. But then do, so if I get up really, really early, if I leave really in the wee small hours, I could get up there quite early, spend a nice day at Nottingham, then drive an hour back to my daughter's, and then spend a couple of days with daughter, and then come home. So I'm hoping to be at Nottingham. Quick, I'm going to get that scaly off. It's the sugar candy stripe. Sorry about that, a bit random, but it was staring at me and that would go ooh, 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 if I didn't get to show you it on the website, on the podcast. So yeah, so I'm hoping to go to the Nottingham Expo. Right, we're coming up to 50 minutes. This is way longer than what I thought it was going to be. It's probably useless ramble for you all, but bear with me while I try and get my big Devonshire dumpling backside back into podcasting and back into communicating with you all. I can be a bit of a hermit, a little bit of a recluse. I admit that to all my families and friends. It did knock me not being able to run, because I was hoping that would be able to get me back socialising a bit better again, but that's not to be. Running is no more. I will be selling my treadmill. So, but then I can buy more yarn. So, thank you guys for bearing with me. I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you to everybody out there that is keeping me inspired by showing your knits on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Thank you. Oh, no, I'm not done yet. I've got to show you what I bought. It's in a box. Nearly done, guys. Bear with. So sorry. The wool tree. This is what I was saying to you. She only had a couple left, and they do sell out quite quickly everywhere. They're not cheap, but they do sell out. And yes, I indulged. It was even more than what I was expecting to pay, but so worth it. It's the Opal Advent Calendar for 2017. It is freaking huge. I don't know what I was expecting. It's yarn inside, you know? So I don't know why I wasn't expecting it to be this big. But look. Oh my word. How awesome is that? Now, I know they have got 24 15 gram opal wool, so it's 360 grams. Well, when you think what you can buy yarn wise, for indie dyers, let's just say most of mine run at about, I think, 15, 16. I could probably get 300 grams and a couple of minis for the price of this. but you get 24, and they're all new to this year apparently. I have been reliably informed. But what I was thinking is, and I was talking to Teresa, because we're a bit nerdy, we said, you know, this is so lovely. Once this is opened, you don't want to get rid of this lovely box, do you? So we came up with the idea, maybe next year, once we've used this, keep the little doors, if you can. You can get into it nicely enough. Keep the little doors. And for the lucky people near Teresa's shop who have purchased this, we would say to them, bring this back next year and we will fill it with minis for you for next year. Different ones. So it would work out a little bit less for next year, because not everybody can afford one of these every year. This is a really special treat just for me for this year, because I've missed it the last couple of years. I haven't done them before. I have not done any other Indie Dyes advent calendars. I haven't had an advent calendar for too many years. I've lost count. So this is for me. This is a treat for me for getting my proverbial bottom back into working properly, back into my happy place, back trying to live a good life, as good a life as possible. Okay. I still do suffer from anxiety attacks. I still do. So this was a little celebration for me, surviving the last couple of years. Okay guys, so I'm going to leave you with this lovely box, because this autumn and this time is my favourite time of year. I love it. Have a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you all again soon. Don't forget, make a meal. Bye bye.